Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And this is a match review from last night's game in Paris. Before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel up the search. That means new viewers find the channel easily. So if you can smash a like, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash a subscribe. Come be part of this great community we have here. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow, and that bell notification lets you know when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And also, if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign as well. So, right. Sorry I'm late, guys. Roly's running late, so he'll join me as soon as he possibly can. Right, let's get into some comments straight away. And then we'll get into the thick of this game from last night. I did put out an instant reaction last night. So I put that out last night. I'd done that as a pre-record because it was late and I needed to get to bed to get up for work. So I thought, well, I'll do a little pre-record and stick that out last night, but tonight we can do the full review as well. Right. Holly was straight in. She says, such a shame about the penalty. And it wasn't a penalty in a million years we got robbed, but I'm still so proud of our lads. We should have got the win, though. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Holly. And you're absolutely spot on with that comment as well. Ryan says, doesn't matter what we do, there's always an agenda against Newcastle. 1-1 would have been a fair result. However, it took 8 minutes of extra time from nowhere and the worst penalty decision I've seen. Mate, I'm with you. I don't think it was the worst. I think we've all seen the worst penalty decision. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But we will get into that. But that's going to be later on in the show, obviously. Mad Mag, are we all Copenhagen supporters for the next hour and a half then? Yeah, because if Copenhagen win, Man U are out, aren't they? So, I'm watching it. It's 42 minutes has gone and it's still 0-0 there. We know Arsenal are 4-0 up. The Copenhagen keeper looks like a hero. He's got a mask on, hasn't he? But yeah, it'll be a shock if Copenhagen win, but I can't see them winning this, to be honest. I think Munich have got too much for them. Toon says, Mag, he says, at least Dick Turpin wore a mask when he robbed you. Yeah, absolutely. Is this where a knockout round Wednesday would have sealed through 5-2? Remember that PSG when you're celebrating like you won the World Cup. Do you know what? You're absolutely spot on. And look, it is what it is. And, but like I say, we're going to get into this anyway. Bia, good evening. He says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. I'll stick a tenner on Tony being 6 minutes late, says Mac. Well, I'm not putting 8 minutes injury time on. Gary says, next round we win and PSG don't. We progress anyway. I can see that happening. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Dortmund, remember when they played Dortmund first game, it was the first game of the Champions League. So Dortmund have grew since then. They beat us, they've beat Milan, they've drew with Milan. So their tails are up. And plus, Dortmund will want to finish top of that group as well. So they need to make sure they can finish top of that group. So if they lost to PSG, they would be second. So they've got something to play for there, which is good news for us. And hello to you, Gary. Julie says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Julie. Hope you're well. Hi, Tony and Roly, says Ian. Good evening to you, Ian. Hope you're well, mate. Celtic got beat last night, didn't they? Again. BT says, good evening, all. Good evening to you, BT. Hope you're well. Paris Saint-Germain's controversial equaliser could be the difference between Newcastle missing out on an extra 10 million from the qualification and win bonus. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look, it's in our hands. We got to beat AC Milan. We got to hope Dortmund don't get beat off PSG, and it's all possible because I don't. It's possible. So rule nothing out yet. Remember, go back to the years under Bobby Robson. We lost the first three games, then we come back, won the last three games, and we went through the next round. So never say never. Keep the faith. Keep that little bit of glimmer of hope. I feel like a loved one has been killed by a drink driver, and nothing you can do about it. Somebody else's stupidity. It's blatant match fixing, in my view. Do you know what, Gary? I'm not disagreeing with you, mate. Absolutely not. It's so delusion that makes you ask what the point is if someone's going to do that. Yeah, Biassi has Qatari money and influences everywhere. Not to mention he's actually on the board as well of UEFA, isn't he? The guy who owns Behind Sports, the one who was against our takeover. Mad Max says, "What the fuck? No penalty against Kai Havertz. Absolutely done with this joke of sport now." Do you know what? I'm in the same boat. After that decision last night, I thought, you know what? What's the point of football anymore? I don't know if I've got the heart for it, but I have now. I think that was just because it was last night. But BT says, should Newcastle beat Milan and PSG, draw with Dortmund, the two clubs be level on points, but Newcastle go through head to head? Absolutely. We know it's the right decision, but where's the consistency? Bounced off his body, hit his hand, just like what went against us last night. Yeah, we will talk about that penalty towards the end of the end of the show. Smash the like and subscribe. Cheers, Julie. Thank you very much. And Gary says hi, Tony. Govo says big up, mate. So proud of the lads last night. Yeah, big up to you too, mate. And yeah, absolutely so proud of them lads last night as well. I just want to mention, by the way, sorry, I should have mentioned at the start of the show, anybody who is a member at the moment, there will be a members prize draw on Friday. So there we go. And the prize in hand is a book. It's all to do with Newcastle United, of course. It's by Pete Graves, and it's called Here to Compete. So that's what's up for grabs on Friday. So what we'll do is on Friday, when we have the show, and towards the end of that show, we will do a members draw, and whoever comes out on top wins the prize. So it'll be a fair draw. You'll see it on screen. It's a number. It's a name wheel, so the name will spin on a wheel, and it'll just pick a name out at random. So whoever that member is will win that prize on Friday. So there you are, something to look forward to for the weekend. Trevor says that was never an effing pen. Even Voss said it's not a pen. I'm a Leeds fan, but they did the fans proud. Absolutely. Thanks very much, Trevor. Definitely, mate. Even Tony and all still got about last night. Definitely got robbed. No chance of a penalty. Full credit, Eddie, and our players were outstanding. 3 minutes of injury time, says Biarra Galatasaray game tonight. It's cheating. Total Anfield time last night. Do you know what? I'm still wondering where the 8 minutes come from, and I'm trying to rack my brains and trying to work out, because what I was trying to work out was how many substitutions there was, and the injury. I know Almiron went down, and and I'm looking at time waste, and I'm thinking there wasn't a lot of that going on. So I really don't know where he got 8 minutes from. Anyone watching Arsenal? I'm not, but I know they're 4-0 up. I've got the Bayern Munich game on. Kane, it's a tough ask for Copenhagen. Can't look at Arsenal right now due to their Belland and behaviour. Absolutely, Julie. It's just ridiculous the way they're going on at the minute. It's just, it's not good, is it? They just think they're absolutely hilarious, Arsenal fans. And Ian, thank you for your £5 donation, mate. Thank you. He says, I'm really going off you, Tony. No, Ian, I didn't mean it in a funny way. Look, we're no Celtics out the Champions League, but, I would have thought they might have put up more of a fight last night. But, no, I wasn't calling it out. Do you know what? I'd love to see Celtic or somebody just get through to the next round just to see how they fare. Hi, Tony, up you. Well, I felt empty all day needing to thrash Man U on Saturday to make up for it. Don't you worry. They're in for a hiding on Saturday, because I'll tell you now, they'll be shattered after today's game. That was one hell of a game. I got home and I put the TV on. I thought, oh, yeah, the match is on. And tell you what one hell of a game that was, 3-3. Shame Galatasaray couldn't win it, but I tell you what, Onana, he looks a dodgy goalkeeper. Them 2 free kicks, how the hell he's let them in is beyond me. Poor goalkeeping. And I'm sorry, he's not a great goalkeeper. So if anybody thinks he's a fantastic keeper, he's not. You know, he just has too many calamities, in my opinion. How much money did the PSG give the VAR? Yeah, exactly. Right. I've got Roly in the back room there, so Roly can come in. Hi, Roly. Hope you're well.
Good evening.
I'm surprised with the referee spend along with the VAR assistant. Well, the VAR referee from last night, who sent the referee to the monitor, has been stood down because he was supposed to be refereeing a game tonight at Real Sociedad, but he has been he's been stood down from that. Obviously, over what happened last night. But as I say, that talking point will happen during the back end of the show. None of that changes the result. Absolutely not, Julie. Julie says Miggy ploughed through, didn't he? Yeah, he done absolutely well. Yeah, absolutely. Ian says I'm the handsome guy. Mad Max says you'll see the Arsenal situation I'm on about when you're done here, guys. The ball bounced off Havertz's body, hit his hand. Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen it either, but I guess it's a Livramento, similar to Livramento. Holly says, what an unbelievable mature performance from Livramento. Once again, we were absolutely robbed of our win, but no doubt about it. Our long-awaited day will come, and unity and chemistry in our squad. Absolutely well said, Holly. Well said. And yeah, you're absolutely right. What game that 17-year-old kid did for the tune, and Paul had a great game. Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. Brilliant. And do you know what it is, right? I really do hope that Dortmund hold PSG to a draw or even beat them, because that means PSG would then drop into the Europa League. And that would be justice, in my opinion. Julie says, evening to Roly. Nana is shocking. We can get to him. His legs will go all wobbly. Look, I thought he was a great keeper when he played in Holland, but when he went to Italy, he was a bit funny. When I've seen him in England, I think, do you know what? I wouldn't pay that sort of money for him. I think they paid something like 55 million for him. I wouldn't pay that. Again, it's Man U being screwed over. Hi, Roly says Gary, so does Lee.
Hi, Gary.
Mad Mag, according to BT, says according to UEFA rules, that was not a penalty. Absolutely. Still can't get my head around how good Miley is. 17-year-olds, it's beggars belief. Absolutely, Gary. It's 5-0 now for the North London Crybabies, says Julie. Okay. Right, so last night's game. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, says Lee. Thank you very much. Yes, please do smash that like. It does help the channel. Thank you very much indeed. So last night the team news was announced pre-game, and it was the same team that started against Chelsea on Saturday. A Chelsea team we thumped 4-1. So we were quite happy with that team. We know there was a couple of changes for PSG's team. So, you know, we knew that. So it is half time. Arsenal are winning 5-0 at half time. Real Madrid are 2-1 up on Napoli as well. So we had the same team as we did Saturday. The game started. Look, to be fair to PSG, they're the home side. PSG is the home team. They had a go at us. They come at us. And, they were peppering our goal. Pope made this great save. And I sort of set it up. And then we sort of just weathered that storm, which, it was a case of it was like the Alamo coming at us. But we weathered the storm. We held firm, which was absolutely fantastic. when we did get down to the other end of the pitch, the ball was passed out to Hakimi, the right back from Donnarumma, and I thought Miggy Almiron did well. He got over to Hakimi, stole the ball off Hakimi, because let's be honest, Hakimi is one hell of a right back. Probably at this moment in time, he's probably one of the best right backs in the in European football at the moment. I mean, look, he's had such a good season for PSG as well. But Almiron to get over there and take the ball off Ashraf Hakimi, absolutely fantastic. He then delivers a ball across the box. Just unfortunate that Isak happens to put that one over the bar. If he hits the target, I think it goes in. I certainly don't think he gets anywhere near it. Donnarumma, and I think hands down, that's in the back of the net. And that's 1-0 to us then. It was a big chance. I mean, Roly, that first one when when Miggy stole the ball from Hakimi, tackled him and got the ball off him, which he did really well to do. As I say, Hakimi's one of the best right backs in Europe at the moment. But look, he got the ball, delivered a lovely ball across the box. Isak should have scored, shouldn't he? He should have hit the target at least.
Yeah, I think it's one he had to hit it first time, and it just got slightly under it. And to beat Donnarumma, he needed to put power onto the shot. It wasn't like the rebound where he could just jab it home. He needed to get some power, and because he got under it slightly, it just took it over the bar. he was annoyed that he didn't finish that one. And with the defenders, he wasn't able to take a touch. He takes a touch, he loses the ball.
Yeah.
Or at least someone's got a chance to block it, so I did it first time. It's a decent shot. It just got a little bit underneath it. Disappointing. Obviously, I had my hands because I thought it was going to put it in. But that's terrific work by Miggy, closing him down and then actually robbing the ball to set up Isak. So, yeah. So we'd come back in because we had a ropey sort of 4 or 5 minutes at the beginning of the game. It was just starting to get into the game at that point. I think if it had been a few minutes later, he buries it.
Yeah, we weathered that. Yeah, we weathered that early storm, Roly, and you knew they were going to come at us. You knew it was going to happen. Yeah. It was, they were going to be relentless at us, and that's what was going to happen. And then obviously, a few minutes after the chance Isak had, Livramento danced past a few players, gives the ball to Miggy. Miggy cuts inside on his left foot, hits a shot. Donnarumma saves it. In my opinion, Donnarumma's supposed to be a top keeper. Should have dealt with that a lot better. Very poor from Donnarumma, if I'm honest with you. And it falls lovely into the path of Isak, who puts the ball in the back of the net. Not that we care, because at the end of the day, we don't care if Donnarumma spills it, because it gives us a glorious chance to go 1-up, and that's exactly what it is. Isak pops it in, gets his first Champions League goal, and you think, right, okay, this is great. We're 1-0 up. What was your thoughts on Livramento dancing past a few players on the edge of their box to give it to Miggy, whose shot then was probably saved by Donnarumma, but Isak, as a goal poacher, was on hand to pop that in the back of the net.
Obviously, it's a great run by Livramento. I was sort of thinking, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Because it almost looked like he was trying to get a shot away, but couldn't, so he just kept on running and no one was tackling him. And he had that pass to Miggy. I don't know if you noticed it. As Miggy was cutting inside, Lewis Miley made a run
Yes, he
inside.
took the defender away.
It took the defender away to open up the space for Miggy. And I thought it was a fantastic save by Donnarumma because he spilled the ball and Isak feet for him to pop it in. 1-0 to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all honesty, it wasn't the strongest shot. Could he have caught it? Maybe not, but he just pushed it straight out rather than away from the goal. And there was Isak doing what all good strikers do, followed in the shot. It broke from him, and he's not missing from there. So yeah, screaming! I was screaming at that point because that was just so brilliant.
Yeah, it was a dream start. I mean, look, we haven't got the best of records in France. I think the last time we won in France was against Sochaux, all those years ago in the UEFA Cup. So that's going back a good 20 year in the UEFA Cup, maybe. When we beat Sochaux. So our record in France hasn't been that great, in all honesty. But look, I thought we did well. We handled them well in that first half. Trippier got a good tackling on Mbappe as well, and Trippier shown his experience against Mbappe. And you could see Mbappe was having a torrid night with Trippier. Paul pulled off some great saves in that first half as well to keep us in the game because, any of them go in and PSG are level in that first half, and then it could be in a different game. But I thought, that first half, we stood strong. We had chances to maybe get a second goal as well. But I thought we did really well. Like I say, I thought Trippier was excellent that first half. Mbappe had to switch sides because he wasn't getting no change out with Kieran Trippier. I thought for them, I thought the Korean lad for them was excellent on the left. Lee, I thought he was. I thought he was probably one of their best, probably if not their best player on the night. He seemed to try everything. Obviously to no avail for him, but I thought he was probably their best player in all honesty. But yeah, I mean, look, we went in that first half 1-0 to the good, and you're sort of thinking, right, okay, after half time, let's have the big 45 minutes. Let's keep this lead. Let's hold on. And let's take these 3 points or even try and hit them on the break. I mean, your thoughts of that first half after the goal? I mean, the saves that Port made, and obviously Kieran Trippier's last tackles on Mbappe that were absolutely first class, by the way.
I think we stunned them. I think they were shocked that when we took the lead. We took a bit of control of the game. We had some chances. We were handling them quite comfortably in the first half. After the first sort of 5-10 minutes, they didn't really create much. And we looked dangerous. I think we deserved to go in 1-0. Yeah, I thought it was a really good first half performance. As you say, Mbappe got no change from Trippier. Then he changed sides and got no change from Livramento. Went into the middle later in the game and got no change from Lascelles. We kept him really quiet. He did have a couple of chances. Well, one particularly in the second half. I mean, he had a couple of really good turns and getting away with people with some good balls in that they fluffed. But he himself only had about 3 shots in the game. 2 were set, well, excluding the penalty. A couple saved by Pope and one he put wide.
I mean, especially in that first half, I thought Kolo Muani wasn't that. He wasn't prominent for them, even though he was preferred up front. I thought he was. He wasn't there, was he, for them for that first half? He just seemed poor, and but yeah, like you say,
getting getting behind us a bit with his pace, but wasn't really doing a lot with the ball when he did.
I mean,
Yeah,
Julie's saying it's bad that PSG didn't give us any respect, and Mbappe is saying we were nothing.
yeah, I saw that. I'm thinking, which game? I know that he's playing for them, and he's relieved that they've got a point out of this. Well, that's just a bit shit. We'll have some grace.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, second half starts. Again, they're coming at us, and we know they're going to come at us. We were expecting the second half onslaught from them. I thought that half time. I thought we need, and they come at us. Pope pulled off a fantastic save in that second half. If Gareth Southgate's watching, he needs to be back in that England squad, Gareth. He really does. Look, that save he pulled off, where it hit his leg, whatever it hit as well. But look, it was one hell of a save. And that kept us in the game at that point. We just, every time, the only thing that I was getting annoyed at in that second half was I was like, when we get the ball, can we not just pass it to it, just pass it about a bit, try and keep it for a good few minutes just to relieve some of the pressure, try and knock them out of their stride because, look, but every time we just seem to kick the ball out, we just seem to hit one of their players in it. Or if it went to one of our players, it wasn't sticking and it was slipping off the foot
I
and it
think
was
that was
going to
more
their
to do.
player. And look, I know the lads are knackered because, look, we had an injury-ravaged squad. That team, only played against Chelsea Saturday, had to go again on Tuesday. It's a lot to ask. And,
Yeah, well, that's what.
and when you looked at the bench, Roly, there wasn't a lot on the
Yeah,
bench that you could change to bring on. So,
yeah. There was nothing.
them lads had to do what they could. I mean, we couldn't have Kraft on there because he's not eligible, the same as Richie. So we were missing a couple of key players there where we could have probably rotated in that game. But
Yeah.
the thing
I
is,
mean,
those lads held firm, and to be honest with you, I thought they did really well. Because there was a huge onslaught from them.
yeah,
They had
it
about
was all.
67% possession. And look, the way they kept coming at us, kept asking questions, the defence stood firm. Lascelles made a great tackle on Mbappe. And when he
Oh,
took the ball, he got fouled. And then he got fouled and got a free kick for it. So all in all, it was great. It was great that Bruno didn't pick up a yellow card because he would have been suspended.
uh, I'd just
Especially
like
with
to
that
talk
referee
about.
being a little bit card happy. But all in
No,
all, I thought the lads stood up well. And
I think
look, we we got we were getting what we deserved because the defense was great. The defense was standing there. Things were getting blocked. If it wasn't the cells, it was Share there in the way. If it wasn't Share, it was Livramento or it was Trippier.
or
Um,
my
you know, and Mbappe had that shot which came back off Pope, and then he pushed it across the goal. And Trippier using all his experience, you know, where if it had been no disrespect, younger defender, he'd been tempted to stick out a left leg. Trippier just stood back with his arms up and let it go past him. Miley was good in the defence for us as well. I mean, he broke stuff up in defence. Look, I thought second half we were terrific in that second half. The way we stood firm, because Isak was basically on his own. Um, to be honest with you, I don't think the ball was going to ever get to him because we just could not get out of our half really much because PSG were pinning us in, which was natural because they're the home team. Their fans, I must say, were absolutely brilliant because they stuck by their team all the way through. They sang all the way through like we do at home in our games, but they stood by their team. The only thing that annoys me was that bloody drummer. But other than that, I thought their fans were great in a way because they were obviously there for their team. Um, and we'll come to the incident a little bit later on, Roly. But I mean, look, in terms of second half, what was your thoughts of the defence? I thought the defence stood really firm, and I thought they were absolutely outstanding.
PSG only really started to press us when they started making changes, when they got some fresh legs onto the pitch, because up until then we handled them pretty reasonably. They weren't doing too much. When they brought the fresh legs on, you could see it starting to make a difference. But like, as you say, we were superb defensively. When they needed help to doubling up, you can see one time when Mbappe was up against Trippier, Miley came up and said, "You take him on the outside, I'll keep him on the inside," and they couldn't get through us. Everybody ran themselves into the ground. I mean, I know what you say is trying to retain the ball when you defending, but that onslaught and the tiredness and not being able to make changes, it was, well, let's just get it out. Let's get it out of the danger area and have a second to reset. And one of the great things I thought about that second half display is, as tired as they were, no one lost concentration. There were no silly mistakes. No. And they were just such a credit to the team, to the club. Everyone, every single man. I thought Lewis Miley was superb, offensively and defensively. What a future that kid's got. To be able to handle that pressure in such a big game. We've got a real superstar on our hands there. I think, as you say, every man was superb defensively. Got Bruno, J7 that helping out as well. Gordon was covering back. It was really sort of. It's one of those defensive displays that it's you don't get them every week because you don't need them every week, but it's monumental in the way they put their bodies on the line, high-fiving for every tackle. As we said, under the previous owner, we don't demand a team that wins, we demand a team that tries, and boy, did they try. They should have won, but we'll go into that a little bit later, I'm sure.
I'm just going to go through some comments, Roly. David says, "Hi, Tony, mate. That was never an effort penalty in a million years. It came off his chest, down on his elbow." Hi, David. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, we are going to come on to that very, very soon. PSG's prima donnas were still shite, and we robbed with 8 minutes extra time and a fake penalty, says Ronald. Do you know what, Ronald? I'm not disagreeing, mate. Archer's in. Oi, lads. Hi, Archer. Hope you're well, mate. He says, "We should have won last night, but the VAR screwed us up. We need to beat Milan. The lads done well last night." Do you know what? I think we'll beat Milan. I don't think we'll have a problem beating Milan. It's just we'll have to make sure that PSG do not beat Dortmund. But I can't see Dortmund letting them beat them because Dortmund want to finish top.
Not just that, Dortmund haven't lost in Dortmund for they've only lost once in 26 games in Dortmund, and that was to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, exactly, and they want to keep that record.
Yeah.
Bias says it was a Herculean effort last night. Just hope we're not knackered for Saturday. No, we got the extra day's rest, so I'm sure the lads will be fine. It isn't wrong for any of us to suspect VAR and the ref were corrupt with the circumstances, says Ronald. We'll be getting onto that very soon, mate. Gary says, "For me, there is more to that VAR decision than simply applying the rules. Our owners and the Qatari owners don't like each other. It was a blatant fix, no doubt. We know how much, like I've said in the past before, the guy who owns Behind Sports, who owns PSG, was the one who tried to stop our takeover. He was the one who was trying to do illegal lobbying in this country, which is illegal, by the way. Collective lobbying is illegal in this country. Obviously, he doesn't know the rules or the laws of our country, and he wrote to 19 Premier League clubs telling them to block the takeover of Newcastle United from the Saudis. You know, it's so he's so far in with the FA, and that is the thing. And he's on the board of UEFA as well. Julie says it does smell of corruption. And remember, not so long ago, he was in the courts with an ex-FIFA chief executive, in return for FIFA getting the World Cup rights off them for 4 years. So he wanted the World Cup rights from 26 to 30 off FIFA, and the guy called Jerome, I can't remember his surname now, but anyway, he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you the rights, but I want a €5 million villa in Sardinia." So the owner of PSG said, "That's not a problem. That's already bought for you. Just give us the rights." Right, there you go. And they went to court over that. I think they got suspended sentences, if I remember rightly. But yeah, so there's nothing new with this guy being as corrupt as he is. Ronald says Newcastle fans TV showed their fans had to be motivated by speakers in the ground, so not as great as you think. Yeah, I'd say we're not in the ground, but when you hear it on TV, that's all you're thinking. So I don't know. Ian says the Mackhams are getting beat 2-1, so the unwashed are getting beat. Excellent news, excellent news. Keep the scruffs down in the Championship, the scum. As long as we can play them in the FA Cup, I don't mind. BS says Khalifi, if it got Qatar to the World Cup, paid the voters from other federations, absolutely. Ali McCoyce was going off it about the penalty. Got a lot of respect for Ali. He's always stands behind us. Yeah, considering he's an ex-Sunderland player as well. I tell you what, I like Ali McCoyce. I like his commentary. I think he's absolutely spot on. The only person I don't like doing commentary, and I think he needs to stick to doing his regular morning TV show, and that's Dion Dublin. I think his commentary is absolutely atrocious. I think in future Channel 4 need to employ somebody else, because Dion Dublin needs to stick to doing Homes Under the Hammer, unfortunately, because that's what he does better than he does commentating. Archer says Lewis Miley had a cracking game, top draw for the kid, and the next Peter Biazzi of the future. Wow, Archer, yeah. But you know what? He's going to get better, mate. He is, and he's only 17. Even though you'd think he was about 27 the way he's playing at the moment. But we will get on to talk about Lewis Miley a bit later. Right, okay then. So, right, I'm going to kick this off now, and I'm going to start this, and then I'll get Roly's thoughts afterwards. So, we were robbed in Paris. Yes, we were robbed in Paris last night. So, we all saw this incident last night, and this was the bone of contention. Is this a penalty or not? Right, okay. So, when we eventually saw the replays, you saw that it clearly hit his chest first, or his stomach first, and then it bounces and hits his elbow. Now then, when I saw that, I thought that's no way that's a penalty. Even Bruno was telling the referee it come off his chest first. That was never a penalty in my opinion. And when VAR were checking it, I thought, oh well, VAR's just going to say to the referee, it's no penalty. Carry on the game. When he made the gesture that he's going to the monitor, I'm thinking, why on earth are they sending him to the monitor? It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. And he was looking at different, and I'm thinking, right, okay, he's just looking at different angles. Probably just wants to clear it up, make it look like he is having a good look at it, and then he's going to come back and say no penalty and carry on the game. Doesn't do that, of course. He does his mark and points to the spot. And I'm thinking, he's given a penalty for that. Now, I was absolutely livid when I saw that happen. First of all, I thought, why? What's wrong with it? It's come off the chest first, then it's hit the arm. Why? And I'm thinking, why does he give that penalty? Now he's give them a lifeline. This was like in the 96th minute. So they're getting a lifeline of a penalty, which to me should never have stood in the first place. That referee should never have even been sent to the monitor VAR should have cleared that up there and then and said, no, no penalty. In the Premier League, that is not a penalty. In the La Liga, that is not a penalty. In Primera Division in Portugal, that is not a penalty. Serie A, it's not a penalty. Anywhere in the world, that is not a penalty. Look, and I know Arsenal fans are out there gloating and saying, oh, yeah, you got what you... Karma's come back and hit you and all this. No, karma hasn't, because the thing is, this was a ridiculous, not just the referee's decision, but also a VAR decision. And that VAR referee has been stopped from refereeing tonight. And bloody good job on UEFA for doing that. Now then, if we look at UEFA's rules, because they changed the guidelines for 2023-24 season, and in their guidelines for the 23-24 season, the UEFA board recommended that it should clarify that no handball offence should be called on a player if the ball is previously deflected from his own body, and in particular when the ball does not go towards the goal. So there was two incidents there. So one, it comes off his body, which I said last night was first point of contact. That is the first point of contact is there. That is key. That is the important bit. Then it hits his elbow, or now that's the first thing. No penalty. Secondly, that ball was going nowhere near the goal anyway. So you can't say that was actually going to end up in the back of the net. So he wasn't stopping the goal scoring opportunity. So at the end of the day, that should have been stopped. But it wasn't. The referee caved in. He caved in. He bottled it. Now, I praised this referee. I was talking to a mate of mine on Facebook Messenger, and I said, you know what? I think this referee's had a cracking game tonight. We need referees like him in the Premier League. I thought he was absolutely outstanding until that penalty decision. And then I quickly changed my mind and thought, actually, no, you're absolutely a knob, mate. That's what you are. An absolute bottle job. You bottled that last night. You caved into them Paris players last night because they were harassing you, and you just caved into them, and you probably looked up the stands and saw the owner there and thought, oh, I'm going to give this because I'm under pressure here. And he caved into not just them players, the crowd, and everything going on in that match. And I hope he hangs his head in shame. This is a man who's refereed a World Cup final and a Champions League final. So obviously, he's a very highly rated referee. Well, I'm sorry, he's not anymore now, because he's now shown himself up. He's let himself down. He's let his association down. He's let his country down. Because I'll tell you now, he is a shambles. He is an absolute shambles, that referee. That was never a penalty in a million years. Should never have stood. It's just a bloody shame that Nick Pope couldn't get nowhere near it, because justice would have been done had that been kept out. Or if that had hit the crossbar and went over, justice would have been done. Soon as he hit the penalty, scored, they thought it was great. It was like they'd won the World Cup the way they were going on. And they got out of this. We got robbed in Paris. And it's just absolutely disgusting. I can't say daylight robbery because it happened at night time. But, it was robbery at the highest level. It was robbery. I wonder if the referee got his brown envelope after the game as well. And I wonder if the VAR got their brown envelopes as well sent through the post to them. Because I tell you what, it was absolutely disgusting last night. I'm absolutely outraged with this. Look, I know the team did well, but I tell you what, that penalty doesn't happen. We win that game comfortably, 1-0. And I'm sorry, we win that game. Yes, the Barcola had a chance at the end when it went over the bar, but that doesn't matter. But the fact is, they don't get that penalty. We've won that game. Simple as. Where's the 8 minutes of injury time come from? I do not know. I'm still trying to work that one out. But the penalty has got me really, really incensed. And I've been like that all day today. And look, I'm letting fly. And I'm not going to stop, because I'll tell you now, that is an absolute disgrace. UEFA, you need to sort this out. Yes, okay, you've dropped the referee tonight, but what does that do for us? Nothing. That doesn't help us. And I'll tell you now, if we don't get through this group, then that is a massive injustice against us. Because, look, they're looking after the elite teams. That's what they're doing. They're looking after the elite. And I'm sorry, if Mbappe is not playing for PSG, I'm sorry, they're not that great of a side. And to be honest with you, did I think Mbappe was great last night? Not really, no. Yes, he does a lot of running. Yes, he had a few shots. He wasted a lot of chances. But do I think he's that great? I don't think he is. You know, I just that they've got that Goncalo Ramos. They've got him on loan. With a view to a permanent transfer if they want to buy him. There's an option if they want to buy him. Yes, they could bring players on that could change that game. But when that Marco Asensio come on, I wasn't impressed with him, and that was a player I thought, oh, Newcastle would, I'd like him at Newcastle. But after seeing him last night, I thought, actually, I'm glad we ain't got him. I'm not that impressed with him. Barcola tried to be clever, tried to beat Nick Pope at the near post and totally fluffed his shot. The thing is, at the end of the day, it boils down to that one decision, that penalty. That penalty should never have been given. Bar should never have sent that referee to the monitor. It should have just been done. It should have been a message back to the referee. We've done the check. We've had a good look at a few angles. It's definitely come off the body first. It's no penalty. They should have known that. They have the UEFA law book. They have the rule book from UEFA, and the UEFA rule book clearly states that if it hits the body first and it's not going anywhere near the goal, then it is not deliberate handball. It is not a penalty. Game continues. They did not do that. They failed, and they failed miserably. And I tell you what, I hope they're bloody well happy with themselves because, look, they could cost us a lot of money. Yes, even if we do beat Milan and we don't get through, we do end up going into the Europa League. Yes, it's a consolation, but the money is in the Champions League, and to get through the next round would be massive for us because you never know. We could get some in the next round. We could get past them in that round and get on to another round. But if somebody said in the chat, if that was a two-legged game, we've won that game 5-2 on aggregate, which is absolutely spot on. But I'll tell you what, the officials, you're an absolute bloody disgrace. And, and sod UEFA, we do not want an apology because what's the point of an apology? It's too fucking late now. Too late for an apology. So I'm going to go into some comments and then I'm going to get Roly's take on the penalty as well. So, and excuse my language, people, because I am absolutely furious with last night. I really am. And I don't often get irate like that. But last night, I just wanted to get a hold of that referee and just, yeah. Right. And I'll, yeah. And when I used to play football, yes, I've had a few run-ins with referees. So, yeah. So it's not the first time I've had run-ins with referees before. But yeah, I'm going to get into some comments now and then we'll see what people are saying. But one thing I do want to say, it's not the system of VAR that's wrong. It's the people who are running it, who are fucking incompetent. That's the problem. We need to get ex-players in there running this, not bloody referees who haven't got a clue what they're doing. Ronald says it isn't wrong for any of us to suspect VAR and even a ref were corrupt with the circumstances. Gary says, for me, there's more to VAR than that decision, simply applying the rules. Oh, yeah, we read that one. Sorry, Gary. Yeah, we did. Julie says, yes, it smells of corruption. It absolutely does. Ronald says, I didn't know he wrote English clubs. Obviously, a Sunni and Shia thing then. Yeah, he did, Ronald. Keith Pattinson mentioned that one, yeah. Mackham's 2-1 down, lovely. Tripp's tackle on Mbappe in the 1-1 was class. Absolutely, Gary.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Ronald says it isn't a penalty. I'm sure you have the UEFA rules, Tony. Yeah, I have, and I've, like anybody else can get the UEFA rules if you go online. Ref looked at the screen for 7 seconds. Lee says no chance the penalty. Cheating French gets a ref. Should have had the override VAR. He didn't have the ball saying no. He should have. He should have said, no, I'm sticking to my decision. It's not a penalty. I love that Shearer posted it was shit. Yeah, even Botman put on, what a joke. I I can't believe Mbappe didn't get booked in the first 20 minutes, made 4 fouls and kicked the ball away. Absolutely, Via. Gary says, Tony, I don't think he caved in. I reckon he was told to give the penalty. Ronald says the ref was all neat, and then he did that, the extra time and that. Did he bottle it for the dirty cash? Well, yeah, exactly. I thought 4 minutes injury time, says Ian. I was shocked at 8, absolutely. Gary says, go on, Tony, don't don't kick your screen, mate. And Mbappe's contract says he has to be captain. Well, he actually took his armband off at one point, didn't he? Mary says, how many of the PSG players would have been in the sin bin if that sin bin had been in play last night? Yeah, absolutely. That ball deflected off the chest first and it showed in the photo. Absolutely. Ronald says, get on there, Tony lad. That would have been the biggest European night away night in our history. Absolutely. And that's what they were shitting themselves for. The ref was hitting across his head with a wet kip, once hitting across the head with a wet kip, says Lee. Do you know what he does, Lee? And yeah, but no, you're absolutely right, Bia. That would have been a huge result had we turned that over last night. Because PSG would have known that if we'd beat them last night, they were basically out. So yeah, they got away with that. Really, they got lucky. They got really, really lucky. Right, Roly? Let's hear your take on this penalty incident. Were we robbed in Paris?
So now you've
First of
finished
all,
beating around the bush, Tony. Let's talk. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. It was a shocking decision. What makes it worse, in my eyes, is that earlier in the game, in that half, there's a cross from a PSG player, hits Lewis Miley's thigh, bounces up, hit his hand. The ref
yes.
doesn't give it. VR check it and say check complete. What's the difference?
And
It's just shocking.
they checked Anthony Gordon's tackle as well, which wasn't a penalty either.
Mm. Yeah.
Because they stopped the game to check it.
Yeah. It was it was shocking. It was a shocking decision. And with it being so late in the game as well, it's there's nothing you can do. I'm sort of lost for words on how sick I am about it. It's that's the other thing that's annoying is that ref was having such a good game up until that point.
Yeah.
He hadn't been. It seemed like he wasn't being intimidated by the PSG players. He was waving away, booking them because they were surrounding. When they went behind, they were badgering him. I mean, God, they made Manchester United look compliant the way they were badgering the ref. They're all round. Oh, it was terrible, shocking. I still can't see how bad a decision that is. And Mbappe doesn't miss from 12 yards when it's a free kick from 12 yards. The Pope went the right way. He put it above him. It's and to come off Livermore of all the players, because he was one of our best players again. It's football's a cruel mistress. But I mean, the good thing, the only good thing about it is that penalty didn't make us lose. It also means that in the final game, if we beat Milan, which is possible, at home to Milan, last day of the season, under the lights, St James's Park rocking, we can beat AC Milan. If we beat AC Milan, PSG have to beat Dortmund in Dortmund. Dortmund have only lost one game in the last 26 at Dortmund, and that was to Bayern Munich. So there's a good chance that PSG won't win that. So we've got to make sure that we beat Milan so we can put PSG in the Europa League. See how UEFA like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that. That's why I'm not downbeat from last night in some ways, because you know we can get through. We can beat Milan at home. Um,
I wouldn't say I'm
Milan won't fancy. What? Milan won't fancy coming to St James's Park. Let's be honest. They'll have looked at our result and they'll have looked at that game against PSG, how we took them apart. Now, I tell you what, if we've got a fully fit squad out there last night, we win that game last night. Absolutely, 100% win that game.
It doesn't need to be fully fit. We just needed 2 or 3 of our senior players that we could have brought on to freshen a few fresh legs. If we had things like Sean Longstaff or Elliot Anderson or Jacob Murphy, someone on that could do a bit of running or even Callum Wilson to try and hold things up when the ball was coming out, and we needed 3 or 4 players so that we could actually make some changes and affect the game. No disrespect to the lads on the bench. You have Paul Dummett, who's not going to change the game for you. He'll do a decent job, but he's not going to change the game for you. Lewis Hall, get a decent player. And then basically 3 kids from the under-21s and 2 goalkeepers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think of PSG's team, when they started, they made all those changes, and it took a dodgy penalty for them to get a point. I'm just filled with pride for what that team did last night. And that's how I'm getting over the disappointment, because I know that even if we have that team with no subs at St James's Park, we can beat AC Milan. And then if we beat AC Milan, we still have European football. And it all depends on Dortmund, whether it's Europa or Champions League. First and foremost, we've got to do our job and beat Milan. Then we'll see. I think
Dortmund have got it in them to beat PSG. I really do. I don't think PSG will win there, if I'm honest. I don't think they'll win there. They're going to have to be on their A game to go and beat Dortmund there, to beat that yellow wall. Yeah. So they're going to have to be on their A game. And like I say, Dortmund will want to finish that group at the top, so they'll not want to relinquish that. So they will make it as difficult as possible. PSG may come off that pitch at the end of the night and realise they're going to be playing in the Europa League, so they'll have to play on a Thursday night rather than a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
The only disappointing thing is that PSG will be playing in Europe after that. It'd be funny if we could conjure a result where PSG didn't actually qualify for the Europa League. Yeah. Cape finished bottom, but that can't happen now. But yeah, it's.
I think we'll go through it the next round. I'm confident of that. Because I'm confident. I'm confident it'll be at least a draw in Dortmund, and we'll beat Milan, and we'll go through.
Yeah,
PSG will be playing in the Europa League against the likes of Liverpool. Let's see how Liverpool get on against Dortmund. Against PSG. Rather. Let's see how they get on against PSG in the Europa League. You look at the Man U team. That Man U team, yes, they haven't got, they've got some injuries, but not a lot. Would that Man U team have went there last night and got a draw? Roly, honestly? No chance.
I mean, they threw away a 2-goal lead at Galatasaray tonight.
Galatasaray were brilliant. But it was the 2 howlers. It's the 2 howlers that Onana made that's cost them the game. Again, he's making howlers regular. We put 3 past him at Old Trafford.
Hopefully he'll make 2 or 3 howlers again on Saturday night.
the way this group stands at the moment, Man U are bottom, 1 point away from qualifying. But the next game is the big game because technically,
By Munich,
if Copenhagen get a draw,
which they look
it's
like
them
they're
or
going.
if they or Galatasaray win, Man U's out regardless of what they do. So yeah, and people were laughing when we went bottom of the group, you know. So Bias says it's a financial monopoly at the top of the UEFA. They are going to do anything to maintain it. Gary says I had nothing to do with the ref. It was taken out of his hands. Julie said it right. Blatant corruption, absolutely. We are hated by everyone, even VAR officials as well. Gary says, going to happen, people will get through. Absolutely, Gary. We have the needle of AC Milan and Sandro Tonali and all. Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal have just committed the same handball in the box versus Lawns. Ricochet on the hand, nothing given. Yep, because it's not a handball. Hopefully, some of our players will be back from injury. Bring back the honey monster, says Lee. Might get an extra VAR. Might get given the VAR decision 2 minutes into extra time. Alan Hull, hi mate, hope you're well. He says a fan should be allowed to see what the refs see on the VAR screen because VAR can show the ref different angles than the fans on their TV at home and in pubs. That's a very good point. That is a good point. Yeah, I like that one,
like
mate.
The one we had this live with Palace last season, where they didn't show the ref the push on Willett that made him collide with the Palace keeper.
Yeah. It's full time in the game at the Stadium of Shite, and Sunderland have lost 2-1 to Huddersfield Town. So there you go.
Oh, dearie me.
So I gather the broadband in Mackhamland will be down tonight then. And welcome to the channel. If it's your first time on the channel, Alan, please smash that like and please do subscribe as well. That'd be great. Thank you. Jeff Hendricks scored for Sheffield Wednesday. Oh God, does that mean his transfer fee's gone up by $1 million? Mackham's got beat. Mackham's beaten yet. Lower league fodder. Absolutely. I mean, look, Huddersfield are struggling in the fourth bottom. Ronald says, let's all laugh at Sunderland. Yeah, absolutely, mate. But I would like to see Sunderland play PSG because I tell you what, PSG would wipe the floor with them. He's long dead. Brilliant guitarist, though. Good on Huddersfield, absolutely. Well done to the Terriers. Hendrick and Mbappe. Right, now then. So next, let's look at one thing, okay? So there he is. I'm putting him on screen. There's Lewis Miley. And look, 17 years of age. I thought Lewis Miley was class. Look, he had a great game. He had a fantastic game on Saturday against Chelsea. And he then went into the cauldron of the Parc de France, PSG. And I thought he handled the game very well. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. The way he took the defender away for Mickey Tavi's shot. Some of the blocks he got in the box as well. I mean, look, this lad done everything. 17 years of age. What a talent he is. And look, we've got to nurture him. We've got to be careful with him. But, this lad is going to be, once he gets to the top of his game, he's going to be absolutely outstanding. I just thought everything he'd done was tidy. The Champions League's a totally different thing from Premier League because in Champions League, it's a more technical game. But he took to it like a duck to water. And even Ali McCoist was so impressed with him. You just wouldn't think this lad was 17 years of age. You'd think he'd been playing for a long time. Copenhagen's almost scored until Neuer's pulled off a triple save. And I mean a triple save. But look, Lewis Smiley was absolute class last night. This lad is brilliant. I can't give him more praise than I'm giving him now. Your thoughts, Roly, on Lewis Smiley?
I thought he was superb. What a mature performance for one so young. Um, yeah, it's something I've read. Can't remember which paper it was. They're talking about Lewis Miley last season. They saw him playing for the under-21s. They said he looked totally out of place, and that was because he's light years ahead of anybody else in the team.
Yeah.
His positioning, he spots danger, he was covering back, he's working well with his teammates in the press. It was his run opened the space for Miggy to get the shot in, which he's scored from. I've just seen the triple save by
Can I
Neuer.
just say though, yeah. But the one thing is, the Parisian papers or the French media. Do you know what?
Gave him a
Do you know what they gave
5.
him last night for remarking? 4.4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's salty.
Yeah, but I mean, they did that when we beat them at St James's Park. They gave similar scores to our players.
SofaScore gave him a 6.8 last night, right? So his stats from last night, Lewis Miley: 46 touches of the ball. His accurate passing was 62%, so that was 16 out of 26 were accurate. He made one key pass. The only cross he had in the game was accurate. He had 4 long balls, none of them were accurate. He didn't succeed on his dribble attempts. He won 1 out of his 4 ground duels. He lost possession 14 times. He'd done 6 clearances, 3 block shots, 2 interceptions, and 1 tackle. So look, but again, the lad's only young. He's going to get better and better with age. And but no, I thought Lewis Miley was absolute class last night, and well done to Lewis Miley.
I think the stats for are skewed a bit. So like the accurate passes, I think a lot of the passes that went astray were towards the end of the second half when it was just getting the ball out of the box, as opposed to sort of passing to the men and trying to play through. Because a lot of people who just sort of like get the ball out anywhere will do sort of thing. So I think that's probably skewed his completed passes.
Yeah. Julie says, our future superstar. Ian says, yeah, Miley got 4 out of 10 from the French media. Yeah, disgusting, isn't it? Salty. Yeah. Miley's some player, fantastic. Looks like a young Gaza last night, says Lee. Gary says, I'm stunned by Miley. Where has he learned to be so good? He's using courts for goalposts till this season. Ronald says, this Lewis is counted as Durham, but he's one of our own. If you know the demographics. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's from Chesley Street. That's where my youngest daughter was born, Chesley Street. So, yeah, absolutely. Alan says, French media gave Miley a 4 and Livermore 5. Ridiculous scores. Yeah, absolutely. They're just not wanting to, they don't want to be there for us, you know. And it was because we outplayed their team last night. That's why they didn't like it. Now then, in terms of player of the match, as we got to see it's player of the match. I mean, look,
that's quite easy. That one.
You could have a few. Well, yeah, but I'll get to mine first, Roly, and then I'll let you come in with yours. I mean, look, there's a fair few of them out there you could see who was player of the match last night. But for me, one individual stood out massively in that game last night. And, you know, you could sort of say, if it wasn't for this guy, we probably lose this game, in all honesty. So my player of the match is Nick Pope all day long. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Saves he pulled off, absolutely brilliant, especially that one in the second half, which was absolutely a fantastic save. And yeah, he done very well, and he kept us in that game because you know he was even switched on early on as well when they were throwing the Alamo against us in the kitchen sink. So I thought he was great. And we have got a penalty check in this game between Bayern and Copenhagen. Um, so we're just seeing what's happening. It's still going on the VAR check. Uh, the referee, she's going to the monitor now to go and check this potential penalty. Not sure what the offence is for, but we shall have a look. And this is into added on time, by the way. 5 minutes of added on time. So she's now just gone to the monitor. It's for a handball. It looks a bit similar to last night, but hang on, this is close. It's hit the arm first before it hits the body. Literally just hits the arm before it hits the body. So what's that decision? And it's no penalty. Should not give it.
Yeah, because it's hit his body at
Well
basically
done.
his arm up, and it's hit him in the armpit.
In the corner. Yeah. Well done to her, though. She's done brilliant there to do that. Harry Kane's not happy.
Yeah, because he would have scored.
And neither's Kimmich either. They're both having to go to the referee. Right, okay. Who was your man the match, Roly?
Same as yours, for exactly the same reason. On another day, without Nick Pope in that form, we lose that game. Which again makes it even more difficult to stomach the penalty decision. He was superb. He had one of the best goalkeeping displays I've seen in a long time. Maybe. So it's not to disparage from the displays of everybody else because they were superb as well. I thought a special mention for Jamal Lascelles. I thought he was superb last night. Superb. Mm-hmm. Bruno and J7 were great. Everybody played their part. Didn't deserve to get that win taken away from them. But shit happens.
Yeah,
shit happens when you have shit people in VAR. Because they've obviously told it. I don't know what they've told him. Because to make him go and look at the monitor, because he's not given the penalty. I don't know how true it is, but people saying that he didn't see the head-on angle, where it's clear that it hits Livramento's chest before it hits his arm. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, that's criminal. Okay.
Oh, Thomas Tuchel's complaining about it now. The penalty incident. He's trying to replay it with the ball. It's not going to change her decision. She's made her mind up, and she's done very well. This referee. Mm-hmm. Probably because they're probably under pressure after last night, after seeing what happened last night. I wish we had her last night.
To be honest, one of the most sickening things about that decision is the referee up until that point had been excellent.
Yeah,
and then
he was.
Yeah, up until that point, he was excellent. To give that is just that. I mean, he'd waved away other penalty decisions, and it just makes you think what VAR said. So they were checking it. He's not given it. The PSG players are crowding around him. It would be nice to hear what VAR said for him to change his mind when he's looking at it.
Oh, what we got here? What's going on here? I think we got another. Oh no, we haven't. It's just the game's ended, and Harry Kane and Kimmich again around the referee. and she's just telling them to go away. She's not going to change her mind. She's made her mind up. And she's waving the finger at them to say no. But, yeah. French media gave Pope an 8. Lascelles was brilliant, says Ronald. Julie says Lascelles improved much of late, definitely. Anne says, do you think there will be anyone back for Man U again to give House some options on the bench? Well, obviously, Kraft will be back on the bench. Richie will be back.
Potentially Longstaff.
Yeah, Longstaff should be back, yeah, hopefully. Javier Manquillo apparently is out to be confirmed because he's got a groin problem still. So, you know, I mean, there's another option we've got. But again, he's a fullback, isn't he? So, refs are too scared to override Voss, Lee.
It does seem that way.
I didn't think the ref was good. So good last night. At one point, PSG took a corner. Trippier was brought down. The ref called it, and then he let them retake the corner. Yeah, I saw that one. I was a bit surprised by that, but maybe that was before he blew his whistle. So I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I mean, look, some transfer news flying about as well at the moment, and it's a really strong link we've got now, and it is around Serhai Garussi. What I'm saying is the Stuttgart player, even though SofaScore's got him down as 44 million euros, he does have a release clause in his contract for £15 million. Yes, £15 million. And it said that Newcastle are very interested in taking the player in January. The only difference is he'll be off to the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations. But again, you know, you don't know how long they're going to be. And if they come out, they get knocked out at the group stage.
Which country did he play for?
You know, he would be back.
So which country does he play for?
I think it's Guinea. Guinea, I think. I'll tell you in just one moment. I might be totally wrong. It might be somebody totally different. I'll tell you who he plays for. Yes, I was right. Yeah, Guinea, the Guinea national team he plays for. Yes, I was right. Guinea.
Not one of the big guys.
No.
So
but look, even if they got knocked out at the group stages, you'd be back within a few weeks.
What time? When does the AFCON? It starts in January. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Because we got Papa Cisse during the January window, and he was at the AFCON.
We did. Yeah.
So
it's look, a £15 million.
Yeah, so it's possible we could get him. If it's in January, it'll last a month. I doubt Guinea will get all the way to the final. So you could sign at the beginning of the window, and he could be back in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, 15 million. That's not a bad price.
For a striker,
because what I'm saying is, because they're saying apparently the board and Dan Ashworth have said, and this is coming from newspapers by the way, but they've said that their main concern is the amount of injuries that Callum Wilson's picking up. And they're going to need that extra striker in. Plus, Isak's had a couple of dodgy injuries as well. I can see Callum Wilson end up being the third choice striker if somebody else comes in. And I think he'll have to play a sub role as well, Wilson, I think, because yes, he's had to start while Isak's been out injured. Um, but
That's
it
why
just
he's
doesn't
injured
help
now.
when his hamstring goes like it does. He just picks up these niggles, but then seems to be out for weeks, doesn't he? Minty had a good run out last night for Feyenoord, didn't he? So
He got an
I
assist,
think he
didn't he?
got 69 minutes.
Well, no, for the weekend.
I don't think he got an assist.
It was at the weekend he
Yeah.
got an assist when he came on as a sub. Yeah, he's doing well out there.
Clarky says, hi guys. Hi Clarky, all right, mate? You'll have to rerun and watch this, especially when you see my rant, mate. Alan says, I see that Minty had a good game on his return. Yeah, absolutely, mate. He did too. Hoping we get Leonardo. Yeah, he's another talent, isn't he? And worth about 17 million quid. And yeah, why not get him in? You know. But who knows? But anyway, we're coming to the end of the show. But I tell you what, it's been a great night, a great review, and if there was any language, I do apologise for that now. But it's passion. It's where my heart is for Newcastle United. I've always been passionate, and as I say, wear my heart on my sleeve. Because these boys do you proud. Julie says there's something in the loan contract apparently that we can't have Minty back early. Oh, because according
That's
to Eddie Howe, he thought we could have him in January. So,
yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, I mean, most of the press have been saying we could bring him back in January, but I'd leave him there anyway. So.
Yeah. Clotty says we need to see the VAR audio. Well, we won't understand it but obviously we'd need subtitles for it. Gary says, see you all later, everyone. Take care. All. Yeah, you too, Gary. Cheers, mate. But anyway, come to the end of the show. But, yes, we were robbed in Paris last night. Absolutely robbed. But we take it and we go on and we battle on. Because if we go and beat Milan and they can't beat Dortmund, we're in the next round, guys and girls. We're in the next round. So, absolutely fantastic. Saturday, we've got Man U coming to town. 8 p.m. kickoff, don't forget. So it's a late one. I don't think Man U will fancy coming to us, but we can do them as well. Not a problem at all. Let's hopefully we can push Ten Hag closer at the sack again this time around. And hopefully we can chant he's getting sacked in the morning around St James's Park, which would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah. Don't forget, if you want to become a member, it is 99p. Just click the join button. There is a prize draw on Friday, so depending what time the show is, I'll let you know. And then obviously we'll do sometime during that show we'll do the draw, and whoever's name pops out obviously wins the prize. And so if you're not yet a member and you do want to be in that draw, then just click the join button to become a member. If you want to make a donation, you can do that by clicking the $sign in the chat. Also, if you have enjoyed this show tonight, which I hope you have done, and liked it, then please do smash that like. It does help the channel up the search. Do smash that like. That'd be absolutely fantastic. It means new viewers find the channel more easy. And if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash that subscribe and join this great community we have here. It is free to do so, and that bell notification also tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows as well. Let's go into some final comments here, because I've come flying in. Ronald says, is it snow where you are? No, not at the minute. I'm in Suffolk, mate, and no snow down here, but very, very icy and extremely cold.
No snow here yet.
Julie says, the audio would be interesting to listen to, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great show as always. Thank you very much, Julie. Great show, guys, as always, says Ian. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Julie says, good night, everyone. Good night to you. Lee says, great show, Tony and Roly, and everyone, the big thumbs up. Thank you very much, matey. Later, guy, says Clarky. You too, mate. Alan says, bye. Bye to you, Alan. Cheers, mate. Clarky says, prize draw Friday. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Um, Ronald says it's snowing here at Turnip Field, Burnip Field at my sister's lol. I like the way you put that Burnip Field. Yeah, I've been through there many a time, mate. The £1,000,000 drawer. Yeah, you wish, Gary. Keep dreaming, mate. Keep dreaming. If there's £1,000,000 draw, I want to be in it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't even win the
so do I.
bloody lottery. Yeah. Although, I remember years ago, I nearly won the pools once. I was online for 8 draws, which would have got me 173 grand. Um, and I was waiting at one game finishing, and I always remember the game. It's it's still there now, and it was Cambridge United versus Wigan in Division 4 at the time, and I was waiting for this game to finish. Was it Division 4? No, it wouldn't have been. Sorry, it would have been Division 3 because we had the Premier League in at the time, and I was waiting for this game to finish, and it was 1-1, and I thought, oh great, if this stays as it is, I'm in the money here. What happens? Wigan gets a last minute penalty and the bloody score it and win 2-1, so I ended up with 483 quid. Still not bad, but I'd rather they drew that game and got 173 grand. But that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But I was still a winner at the end of the day. But I always remember that game. I can't remember who scored for them, but I know Wigan won it 2-1 with a last minute penalty. Ronald says, love the snow, passionate, good night, folks. Good night to you, mate, as well. Yeah, I like a bit of snow. Clarky says, we're in the draw. Tony comes to stay at your house weekend. Chat all Newcastle all night, says Clarky. No, it's for a book, Clarky. The book is called He Had to Compete, and it's by Pete Graves, and it has stuff about Eddie Howe, there's stuff put in there from Alan Shearer and from Kevin Keegan as well. So it's a hardback as well. So it should be absolutely brilliant. And we'll do that draw Friday. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Ron says, I was one number with my workmates after weighing in scrap metal. Lovely. Can't state, Ryan, I've got the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, Ron says Gary. Don't tell your missus. The lottery. Oh, nice one, mate. Nice one. Yeah, the lotteries are great on a syndicate if you can win them, aren't they? Absolutely fantastic. But anyway, we got the draw. Let's go. Let's roll on to Saturday now. Let's beat Man United, and let's make sure we stay in that more in touch for that Champions League place. We're on a roll at the moment, and look, we've come back after the international break, nice and fresh. Beat Chelsea 4-1. A draw against Paris Saint-Germain, a game that we should have won. And then we play Man United Saturday. Clarky says, I'll take that. Stick me in the draw. Might still be in the pub though. I'll take Tony and Roly over for the book weekend. Well, you remember Clarky, so you will be in that members draw, mate. Absolutely. We hardly get out, says Ronald. Yeah, that lottery. I used to put it on, and I stopped putting it on because I didn't win a lot on it. I know I had a couple of. I've had a few tenors. I think the most I've won on that. I think I got £400 once for 4 numbers because. But other than that, I've not really had a lot on that. You're better off sticking the £1 on an accumulator and seeing what happens on that. You got more chance with that. But yeah. But if you do bet, guys, bet responsibly. And when the fun stops, ours stop as well. But anyway, remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Them lads did us loud and proud last night. So, absolutely dead on their feet. But you know what? Absolutely fantastic as well. So it's bye-bye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
How are you, lads?